Welcome to the department, Genevieve. I am so enthusiastic about welcoming you here, and I'm particularly excited that you and I will have the chance to work together as mentor and mentee.
Well, thank you, Dr. Goldstein. I'm obviously very excited to be here. My head's still swimming a little bit, I think, trying to figure out the right place and how I move forward.
Well, the goal of today's meeting is for us to discuss how best we can work together. And I think the other larger objective for today that I think will really guide our working relationship going forward is to spend a good deal of time talking about the use of an individual development plan. Are you familiar with IDPs?
A little bit. I mean, in my postdoc, we had a plan that we had to turn in. I'm not so sure we used it all that well.
Okay. Well, we're really encouraging the use of an individual development plan here in the department and in the overall institution because we see it as a great tool with which one can set long-term goals, medium-term goals, and to really define the action plan that will help us achieve those goals.
And I think that's going to be really helpful for me because, of course, it's very easy to say, well, I want to be a leader in my field and I want to, secure sufficient funding, and it's a little daunting figuring out how I'm going to do that. So I like the phrasing of an action plan because I feel I need that, quite frankly.
That's great because what we want to talk about are the components that it's going to take for you to be a leader and the specifics of what you need to do in order to be promoted. And what we can really do with that individual development plan is set forth the action plan so that you can achieve your goals needed for promotion to the next level in each of those three domains. And by meeting regularly to discuss your IDP, we can talk about the proportion of time you're allocating to each of those different components.
I know enough about academia to know that there are kind of general goals in terms of publications and numbers and things like that. And then departmentally, it can be very different. So I'm definitely hoping you can clue me in to some of that.
As your primary mentor, I can actually help facilitate finding answers as well as providing examples of how to do things. So on the straightforward side, I will send you an example of my IDP. I consider the IDP to be a living document. So, and when I say living document, meaning I revise it frequently. So I set forth my goals and then I modify my action plan in order to match with my goals. And opportunities come up. So when I'm, for example, invited to do a talk somewhere, I have to actually check back with my IDP to say, do I need to do this? Is this something that is consistent with my long-term goal of being a research expert in my field? And that's what I'm hopeful that you'll use your IDP for and use our mentoring relationship for. So if you're not certain, that's something for us to discuss in our regular meetings about whether or not it is consistent with your long-term goals and that you're spending the right proportion of time on the activities that are required for your promotion.
That's a nice, solid way for me to think about really kind of the level of things that I can come to you with and really how that fits in, as you were saying the words, the action plan. Because, of course, anytime if I'm ever invited, I think, wow, but that might not always be the best use of my time.
There are going to be things that we discuss during our mentoring relationship that may be difficult, that may involve some sticky situations that you may find yourself in. And I want to reassure you that I'll hold those situations in confidence, just as I would expect that certain things that I tell you, you would hold in confidence as well.
Well, and I definitely appreciate that because I know that as excited as I am, things always do come up, so it's nice to know that I kind of have a place to touch back and check in.
I have to say, I am so enthusiastic that you joined our department for a number of reasons. I think that obviously our research interests are aligned. I'm impressed with your excitement about your research area and with your accomplishments so far. Now, I know that there are going to be things that come up on the personal side that may interfere with your ability to reach your goals, and I also want to invite you and that's not to obligate you, but to invite you to share those with me. If you feel there's a way that I can help provide some perspective that would help you achieve your professional goals, I just want to assure you that as your mentor, I'm happy to serve in that role to the extent that you're comfortable. I would also encourage you at times to consider seeking a peer group to get answers related to work-life balance, because there may be issues that I don't have personal experience with, but that your peers and colleagues would be able to address. I know I may have made something sound scary today, but we're here to help you to be successful. That's what helps me as a primary mentor feel good. That's what our department, that's what our goal is. So I set forth a number of structures and systems, but I want to let you know that we're flexible. And we're going to be flexible to work with you on an ongoing basis to ensure that this is a great working relationship that ends ultimately in your promotion.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Sure. Okay.
I had a really wonderful initial mentoring meeting with Genevieve. We had an opportunity to discuss her plans with us as a faculty member and some strategies that we can use to work together towards achieving those plans. And I think more than anything else, we had the opportunity to align our expectations for our mentoring relationship. She asked some really great questions about what my roles and responsibilities would be as a mentor, and we were able to talk through some things so that we could be sure that we would have a great working relationship.
I'm really excited about this mentoring relationship with Michelle. I'm glad the department paired me with her. She's already given me some specific ideas to think about, and it's really reassuring, and it was just really nice that she mentioned both work relationships and how I can achieve my own goals, but also learn from working with her, but then also that I can bring issues of work-life balance into play and that she'll help me think through those too.